Yo, it's your boy Plan B, aka E Money, E Mugga, Hard Body Boy Podcast. Today we're not doing a podcast episode today. Doing something a little different. It's not even the day for the podcast. We normally do that shit on like Saturdays, and it's like a Tuesday, like 8:30, 8 o'clock. So no podcast today. But I wanted to react to this Vice interview or this Vice hit piece on Andrew Tate because what the fuck is going on? I'm not gonna lie to you, man. Fuck Vice. Fuck Vice. I seen half of this shit. I didn't see the full thing. Before I even seen it, I knew it was bullshit. But after watching a little bit of it, I'm like, this is super bullshit. They out here trying to attack the top G, trying to make him look like he's crazy, make him look like he's raping, and trafficking. It's the crazy part about this whole thing to me is it shows people that have common sense, and it shows the people who don't like Andrew Tate don't have any common sense. Like, whether you like the guy or not, you could say he's misogynistic, you could say he's this and that. Okay, cool. You could say he's too aggressive, he's toxically masculine, whatever the fuck. You don't have to like him. But just think about this. Whether you like him or not, do you think he needs to rape women? Grape women? Whether you like him or not, do you think he needs to force them to do his bidding? He talks about it all the time. If a girl does not want to do what he wants, he kicks her out. A sex trafficker, I don't think y'all know what real sex trafficking looks like. Like, motherfuckers is chained up in horrible living conditions, right? The food isn't adequate. The care, the health care, the respect, the regard, like, it's horrible. You feel me? Like, I personally haven't seen one in person, but I've seen actual documentaries of actual sex traffickers, like a sex trafficking ring of people that do that in like India and Middle Eastern countries and whatever the fuck. That shit, bro. Look at these motherfuckers. Why would someone who is rich walks into the club, all the girls know him, they all want him, they all want to fuck him willingly. You don't even gotta pay for shit. They all want to be around him. How can if someone wants to be around you, how can you force them? How is that forced? That doesn't make sense. If somebody wants to be around me, there's no way, in any way, shape, or form, no matter what I do, I'm forcing them because they want to be around me. They choose to be. So fucking stupid. And I actually seen a clip from Pressure Frit breaking down some of the details of the case, and they said things like the door was wide open, they could leave whenever they wanted, they had cell phones, they were allowed to go out and do whatever. Like, come on, man. I'm pretty sure they pay this chick, whoever does this interview, her dumb ass. Let's get started. Before we get started though, real quick, make sure you sub to the channel, man. Make sure you follow me on Instagram. TikTok. I believe I have a Twitter. I barely use it. I have a Twitch too, but for now, just follow me on Instagram and Twitter, Instagram and TikTok, and sub to the page. We do episodes every Friday at 10:30 p.m. I'm gonna start going live eventually on YouTube. I have to figure out how to do that without it lagging, but I'll start going live a little bit on YouTube. But yeah, with that being said, let's get started.
Sally was approached by Andrew when she was 20. Due to fears of harassment from his fan base, she's withholding her real name.
First night that I worked for him, Andrew bought me like 5 bottles of wine. So I got completely drunk because I'd never done webcam work. So I was very, very nervous. Then that night, we were...
Wait, what? What? I'm not the biggest man in the world, but I'm a pretty stocky guy. I work out a lot. I have like a lot of muscle. I'm pretty built. I'm 180 something pounds, 5'10". 5'10" is what I like to believe. I myself, I can drink a whole bottle of Parmesan right now, and I'll be cool. I myself can't even drink 5 bottles of wine. You're drinking 5 bottles of wine? You know how quickly girls get drunk? Y'all light as hell. 1 bottle of wine is cool. You telling me he brought you 5? Really? I'm supposed to believe that? That right off the bat, that don't make no fucking sense. 5 bottles? Who the fuck is you? Come on now.
just sitting on the bed and Andrew punched me in my arm. I went to the bathroom and cried. It really, really hurt to have someone just hit me in the arm for no reason. I was
What? Like, what the fuck are you talking about? So he gives you 5 bottles of wine, right? He's not trying to fuck you. He just punches you for no fucking reason. What? Make it make sense. Like, after a certain point, it's like, she can literally say anything right now. Anything. Y'all expect us to believe that shit. She's not giving no proof, the story doesn't even add up. She's only said 2 things so far, and the shit, we're only 44 seconds in, and she made 44 mistakes. She's already fucking up. Making no fucking sense.
I'm very confused. Sorry. Sorry, I don't want to cry.
Great fucking acting. Bravo. Bravo. Great fucking acting. She crying. Sorry. Like, you're not even describing nothing that traumatic. He got me drunk and punched me in my arm. What? Like, what the fuck? If you gonna cry, if you gonna fake cry, at least give us a real reason to fake cry. Come on, that was fucking stupid.
It's okay.
So then when I came out of the bathroom, he was super, super nice. Like, from what I remember, Andrew didn't have any alcohol at all. It was literally just me. That night we cuddled and we ended up having sex. And
You're telling... At first she said 5 bottles of wine. I'm like, that's kind of crazy. I doubt you can drink 5 bottles. Then I'm like, maybe Andrew drink a lot of it. He's a big guy. He drinks a lot, whatever. Then she said he didn't have any. She said he didn't have any. You telling me you yourself, alone, drink 5 bottles of wine? First of all, I doubt you can even do that. I doubt you can even do that. 2, even if you did, why the fuck would you do... Like, how drunk are you trying to... You're drinking 5 bottles of wine willingly, consensually. You plan to fuck him. You're trying to get drunk and get fucked. He didn't force it down your fucking throat. Like, you plan to fuck... And you was talking to him. You was dating him at the time. 5 bottles of wine. Like, what? You did not drink no 5 bottles by yourself talking about he didn't drink none. It was just you. Fucking bullshit, man. Let's keep it going.
I was really, really drunk. That was my first night. Then it was kind of like every single night I would work. But as soon as he handed me my money, I soon forgot about him hitting me and everything else. And it was just like, wow, I've got all this money now. Like, he would just pay me a flat fee of £15 an hour, which back then was fantastic. I was making £5 an hour at my 9-to-5 job. But when you look at the money that I was actually bringing in,
This sounds like very scripted. So she's saying things in a way that she said, you know, he would pay me my money, and as soon as he paid me my money, I forget all about the hitting and whatever. She's kind of like, in sales, you're taught to address the customer's objections before they even have a chance to object. So like in the sales pitch, so let's say it's a Facebook ad, you see a product has a long description, or you go to Amazon or go to a website, it has a description, right? The description's job is to answer all your questions and is to anticipate what questions you might ask up front and answer them so you can buy the product. A lot of y'all don't know that. I think she's doing something very similar here. She's kind of answering questions that we would have, like, well, why'd you stay? She's like, well, once I got the money, I forgot all about the hitting. That's like, it's almost like damage control. It's almost like, it's like prepping yourself for the hit before you get hit. It's like, but if you're a real victim, like, that's not something you would say. Like, as soon as he gave me the money, I forget all about it. It's like, it sounds, I don't know. It sounds like bullshit. It's a fucking bullshit.
and it just doesn't even scratch the surface.
Were there any other instances where there was physical abuse?
Yeah, so when we moved into the bigger apartment, that's when more girls started coming into the apartment to work for Andrew. And that's when I just witnessed so much, like, verbal, physical, not just to me, but the other women involved. And it just got worse over time. Andrew would call us lazy hoes. I saw him smack girls with a belt because she wanted a lion. He used to strangle us as well.
Strangle you. Again. Why on earth would a man who is a kickboxing champion at the time, multiple girlfriends, why would he need to force you to do anything? He's told this story before on different podcasts. He said he had a bunch of girls coming. He told them what it was. Some didn't like it. They left. Cool. He did say, like, they would, throw parties and make him feel bad about leaving, like, whatever. But, like, fuck it. Who cares? It's not illegal. There's nothing wrong with that. You still had the option to leave. He didn't force you. He said, I'm not sure if some girls came back or I don't know, whatever it was. But his whole thing is he doesn't want to force nobody. He says it all the time. He even tells guys not to force girls to do nothing. Like, if she don't respect or appreciate, leave. Like, he's always about leaving. Like, if she don't want to do this, drop her, leave her, bye. Like, only desperate men that aren't good with women. If a nigga has 5 girlfriends flying in to do OnlyFans or to do cam work for him, he doesn't need to force any of them. If you can have 5 girlfriends, maintain them, and have them all come in and convince him, I'm pretty sure you can get 5 more. He don't fucking need you. Why would he force you and strangle you? Come on.
There was another time when he came into the bedroom, me and the other girl, we would sleep in the same bed with Andrew, but at this time the girl had a partner, so she was not interested in Andrew at all. And I had gone to the shower, I came back and I noticed he was, like, I saw him raping her. And,
Should have called the cops. You should have ran out the house. You should have told the other girls. You should have texted someone. You should have left the house and said something like, first of all, the girl, hold on, here's what I'm hearing right now. She's saying she walked by and saw this girl who had a boyfriend getting raped by Andrew Tate. 2 things don't make sense here. If you have a fucking boyfriend, why is he letting you come to another guy's house and do cam girl work? He sounds like a fucking simp. A fucking beta. He sounds like a nigga you don't even want to be with. No man that you respect and that respects his girl and that takes pride in his girl and provides and protects for his girl and takes pride in himself and takes pride in his reputation and how his image is affected by his girl would allow his fucking girl to go to another man's house and do cam girl work. To be pimped out by another man. If you're going to get pimped out, cool. Not a problem. You're getting paid for it. But no man, no self-respecting man is going to allow his girl to go to another man's house, a kickboxing fucking champion, and get pimped out by him and think it's cool. If she was there, she probably didn't even want her fucking boyfriend. So when you saw them together doing what they do, they was probably just fucking. You call it grape? No. She probably liked it. She probably wanted it. Why else are you... Not why else, but, like, you're in my fucking house, like... What It's one thing if she decided to be a cam girl on her own. She came to him, let him lead, came to the house, signed up for the job, said yes, seen the environment, seen the vibes, seen what she had to do, seen how she had to present herself to these guys, flirt with these men. Like, she don't respect her fucking boyfriend if she's doing all that shit. She probably wanted to fuck Andrew. He's not forced. All right, let's keep moving.
when he threatened to beat me up in the bathroom and he said, oh, I don't give a fuck if you call the police, I'm going to beat the shit out of you. That's kind of when I knew, I had to get out of there. I stopped working for Andrew about March, April time, and I went to the police shortly after that. Nothing was done, really. They didn't take me in for questioning, they didn't interview me. The other girl that he had raped, she went...
Where's the police report? Where's the police report? All this eyewitness shit and the he say, she say shit is all your word. Where's the police report? Where's the proof that she went to the police and they did nothing? Where's the fucking proof? Girls that claim grape and claim SA and all this shit is like, they never have any substantial evidence. Ever. I actually have a story on that about a girl that tried to accuse me of that shit in high school. No substantial evidence. Luckily, I had evidence. So that kind of blew over easily. But girls like this, though, they expect you to... They weaponize their tears. They expect you to just believe them because they're crying. Because if I'm crying, I must be telling the truth. Fuck out of here. Some of y'all are really good liars. Some of y'all are actors. Do you know that 50 Cent, who's not even a fucking actor for real, I think of him as like a rapper that acts. This motherfucker can cry on command. He can cry on command. 50 Cent, gangster. I seen him do that shit on like, what was it? David Letterman? No, not David Letterman. One of these fucking shows, I don't know, talk shows. He cried on command. If 50 Cent can cry on command, what makes you think that this chick, who we don't even fucking know, we don't even know her face or name, could be a fucking actor, could not cry on command? I've went to plays and seen girls cry on command. Like, I'm not gonna believe that bullshit. Your story don't add up. You say you went to the cops. You say you told them what was happening. They didn't believe you. They just ignored you. That is cap. That is cap. Because when you claim rape, shit. If that was the case, why is this happening now? If a girl claims a guy raped her, what? They don't take that shit lightly. They be on it. They be fucking on it. If a girl claims a guy assaulted her, they be on it, even with no proof. I got accused of assault. No proof, no evidence, no bruises, no nothing. Took me to jail. What do you mean? Girls, y'all have the law on your side, so I find it hard to believe that you came to the police hysterical or whatever, or with, especially if you had proof, right? I'm sure he called you, texted you. I'm sure there's some kind of proof you had. You had to have had something. Pictures, videos, anything. You had to have had something. Something. The other girls, like, something. I highly doubt they would have said, whatever, it's fine. What? They take that shit very seriously, as you can see, because it's happening to him now. I don't believe it, man.
Went to the police, and then that's when they arrested him and took him into custody for like 2 days. When Andrew was arrested, we were taken in for a proper interview, and it kind of just got left. I would send emails asking them to update. I'd hear nothing back.
When we reached out to Hertfordshire Police about this, they had this to say. We acknowledge that there were some delays to the investigation. This was addressed at the time and apologies were made. The case was only closed in late 2019 after a case file had been sent to the Crown Prosecution Service and they took the decision not to prosecute. All those involved in the investigation were further updated at the time. The Crown Prosecution Service said in this case we carefully reviewed all the evidence provided by the police regarding each complainant and concluded it did not meet our legal test and there was no realistic prospect of a conviction. We sent a letter to each complainant explaining our decision not to charge.
When he went into Big Brother, that's when they started to take things seriously. He's on TV, we need to get him out. They told me, the producers don't want to release him because he's proving to be entertaining. He was removed because of this ongoing police case. And it kind of just got left at like 2016.
We reached out to Banijay UK, the company behind Big Brother, and they said, as soon as we were made aware by Hertfordshire Police on the 8th of June 2016 that Andrew Tate was being investigated by the police, we began a process of extensive consultation with Channel 5 and legal teams, including the lawyers representing Andrew Tate. During this period, and whilst we sought to clarify the details required by Channel 5 on the police investigation, Andrew was closely monitored at all times. He was removed from the house on the 13th of June. And since then, has anything come of it?
Unfortunately, they turned around and just said, we can't continue this case anymore. It's just insufficient evidence. We're not going to take it to court.
You witnessed the rape occurring. Did that not count as evidence for them?
No. They openly said it's really, really difficult to prove rape. Very difficult.
In the UK, only 1 in 100 reported rapes result in a charge, let alone a conviction.
I think people have this perception that if...
Now, I will say this because I was thinking about this for a second. She said it's very hard to prove rape. And I was like, I could somehow imagine why it'd be hard to prove that, because if a guy just forced himself on you, like, there's not a lot of DNA unless you take his sperm or something, but if he didn't nut in you, then there's not any DNA. But I think, man, it's a touchy subject, man. I think that's good and bad. I think it's bad because that means there are girls out there that actually are experiencing this and we're overlooking them. But I think it's good because there are girls out here who aren't, or girls out here who are start to have sex with a guy, change their mind halfway through and consider that rape. There's girls out here who, and I've talked to one, they said to me verbatim, if you tell me that you're a certain ethnicity and we have sex and I find out you're not, that's rape. So I think it actually, although it unfortunately means that there are some victims that get overlooked, but I think ultimately, like, because there are way more people accusing guys of falsely doing this, and there are way more people that have a very low threshold for what they consider grape. So because there's so many accusers out here and fewer victims, I think it makes more sense. I think the stats reflect reality. I think that there should be a more extensive process for proving someone raped you. And I think if a girl is found to have been lying about it, she should serve consequences. In fact, that might actually fix it, right? Because the issue here is there are a lot of girls. Damn, got the hiccups. Issue here is there are a lot of women out here falsely accusing men of doing this shit. So that, and because of them, we take after a while it sounds like the boy that cried wolf. We take those allegations, we tend to just ignore them after a while because we assume you're capping, or we assume you're making it up, or we assume you provoked, or we assume you initiated, or we assume you misled, or whatever it was, right? Because of that, there are a lot of girls that are overlooked. I think the solution to that would be having more harsher punishments for girls that are found to have been lying, to deter the ones who would potentially lie to lie. I think there should be a more extensive investigation, which there probably is. Like, I think a lot of these cases get thrown out because once they're brought to light, because I be hearing girls on podcasts saying this shit all the time, and it don't sound like they really got raped. It don't sound like that at all. It sounds like you coerced this man, you led him to believe he's gonna get some, then it didn't happen. Or it sounds like you got drunk with him and you were horny and wanted to have sex with him. You had sex and you got so drunk you forgot, woke up the next morning and thought he raped you. It's like, nah. I actually, sheesh. I've had a girl say that before. Luckily, she didn't accuse me of anything. Luckily. So it was still cool. Like, we drank one night, we had sex. The next morning, she's like, what happened last night? I'm like, we drank and we had sex. She's like, we did? I'm like, yeah. And I was kind of offended. I'm like, how'd you forget that? That was like one of my best performances. How'd you forget that? So I understand sometimes girls literally get, and not even just sex, like sometimes girls get so drunk they don't recall what happened last night. They don't recall leaving the bar and getting home. Like, girls be getting so fucking drunk. So when I hear girls make these allegations and say like, oh, he did this, he did that, I'm like, I need more detail. I need way more detail, because I've seen this happen so many times, and you could be considering something that's far from grape and consider it grape. Craziness. I actually had a girl tell me once this guy she met at a party told her he was Puerto Rican. And because of that, he got to fuck her and her best friend at the same time. Found out later he was not Puerto Rican. She was mad about it. Like, I can't believe I let him do that. I'm like, because he's not Puerto Rican, now you feel like weird because you let him have your body? That's kind of weird. Like, what? He's still the same person. He still looks the same. He still talks the same. He's still exactly the same, because his ethnicity is not what you thought it was. Like, I mean, it is weird of him to lie about that, but now all of a sudden you feel weird. Like, what the fuck? Whatever. The threshold for what this word means nowadays and what situations it applies to is so fucking low. You can say anything is grape. That's why I don't be taking these shit seriously. If you gonna accuse somebody of that, have some substantial evidence.
If you tell someone that you've been raped, that person instantly goes to prison. They don't realise that it's so hard to convict someone of rape.
In a statement issued via his lawyer in Romania, Tate denied assault or rape. He said,
here's the thing, right? Whether the cops get involved or not, whether the guy's charged, whether he goes to jail, the reason why I say we need to have stricter investigations on rape and a stricter process on determining whether or not someone was actually raped is because whether or not the guy is convicted, let's say he's found innocent, it fucks up his reputation, because now you done told he's on the news, or his friends and family or whoever's in his circle, community, city, whatever, now see him as this. They see the headline, let's say his name Jeffrey accused of rape of so and so. They may not even follow the case to see the result. They may not even realize he was found innocent. They just seen that, so every time they see him as like this, someone to keep away from, right? It fucks up your reputation. Happened to my friend, my ex-friend. He went to school one day, He worked at a elementary school, I believe. He worked with third graders. There was a fifth grader that was telling all the kids that he's her boyfriend and, whatever. Truth is, she's had a crush on him. That's it. Mind you, he doesn't even work with fifth graders. He's in a whole different grade, not even in his class. He's in one class, and that class is in third grade. She's not in his class or his grade. Never seen this girl. Kids whispering, saying this and the third. Eventually, it gets back to the principal somehow. Principal says, yo, come here, let me talk to you real quick. He's like, yo, what am I hearing about you and the students having a relationship? He said, what? Bro, I just walked into school. Like, what? I don't even know that little girl. She's not even in my class. Like, what do you mean? I don't know her. He said, okay, I understand. But because of that, while we have an investigation, we have to send you on a paid leave for like a week and a half or something like that. Think about this. There is not the girl didn't even accuse him of anything. Let's remember that. This little girl didn't even accuse him of doing anything. She didn't accuse him of touching her. She didn't accuse him of forcing himself on her. She didn't accuse him of anything. She just said, that's my boyfriend. Because that's how little kids are. When I was young, I would see teachers be like, that's my girl. Girls are young too. They'd be like, that's my man. Like, it's kid shit. It's kid shit. No proof, no nothing. He gets put on a paid leave. I mean, luckily he got paid. But he has to leave his job because of this. And then even after they did the investigation and found out that it was nothing, that she just had a crush on him or whatever, bro, he came back to school. The teachers don't know that. Maybe the principal knows that, right? But the principal didn't go around and tell every single teacher, hey, he's good. The principal probably just talked to Mark, talked to the kid, talked to whoever else was involved, the parents, whatever. And it was between them. He comes back to school, now all the teachers are looking at him sideways, thinking he's a fucking pedo. You feel me? It fucks up your reputation. Even if you're not convicted of it, it fucks up your reputation. He ended up quitting the job because he said, fuck that, bro. I'm not going to be around people that think I'm this, like, I touch little kids and whatever, like, for no damn reason. He's like, it's not fair. I didn't do nothing. Now the whole vibe, my coworkers will treat me differently. Like, that's what I mean, man. Like, that word is dangerous. That word is so dangerous because even if we find out that the guy didn't do it, not only does he still suffer consequences, but absolutely nothing happens to the woman that accused him, and that's fucked up. Let's keep it going.
They wanted money because I fired them. The police understood after the investigation that I am innocent, and the police found messages from the girls' phones where they were talking between themselves and planning to lie about me. Sally said, the CPS sent a letter saying that one of the reasons they didn't charge Tate was because they found voice notes on our phones where we talked about whether we should tell the police that he gave us alcohol. We were talking about it because that is what happened. He used to get us drunk.
You know, you see all these young men.
Alcohol as they did in Romania, Tate denied assault or rape. He said, they wanted money because I fired them. The police understood after the investigation that I am innocent, and the police found messages from the girls' phones where they were talking between themselves and planning to lie about me. Sally said, the CPS sent a letter saying
He just said the police, I mean, it does kind of make sense. The police found messages saying they were planning to lie on him, and messages saying whether or not they should tell them he gave them alcohol. Because they knew that if you admit that he gave me alcohol, that means I willingly accepted the alcohol, I willingly drank it, and I willingly got drunk. That's what it means. They're saying, should we tell them, because it may not help our case. It may show that we actually consented to this. The cops found texts saying they were planning on lying on this man, and their rebuttal is, oh, what did he say? Hold on, let me see.
That one of the reasons they didn't charge Tate was because they found voice notes on our phones where we talked about whether we should tell the police that he gave us alcohol. We were talking about it because that is what happened. He used to get us drunk.
Wow. So you're telling me the cops see this serious situation, this drug ring, this drug, sex, whatever, this y'all being held captive, and they say, oh, well, we can't charge y'all because y'all definitely said y'all was trying to drink with him. Y'all definitely said y'all were going to lie on him. And you saying, well, the reason why we weren't going to tell you about us getting drunk was because, that's what actually happened. And that, like, Wait, I'm not even understanding.
Didn't charge Tate was because they found voice notes on our phones where we talked about whether we should tell the police that he gave us alcohol.
Yeah, fucking exactly. Yeah, because they found voice notes saying whether or not you should tell the truth. They found voice notes of you talking to your friend saying whether or not you should tell the cops the truth. You just said because that's what actually happened. They found voice notes of you saying whether or not you should tell the cops the truth and that you were planning on lying on him. What more proof do we need? If anything, let's get the fucking cops in here. Why don't you interview the cops? They seem pretty important. They seem like a pretty important, vital piece of this whole thing. You're able to get these random bitches who nobody fucking knows, but you can't get the fucking cops that were documented. We could prove it with timestamps. Come on. And their excuse, oh, we didn't want to tell him because that's what actually happened. He used it to get us drunk. He used it to get y'all. I hate when girls make this fucking excuse. All right, somebody call me. My fault. Let's keep moving.
We're talking about it because that is what happened. He used to get us drunk.
You know, you see all these young men talking about how he's such a great guy and he's their idol and stuff, and that's so difficult to see. There are better.
She said, this don't make no sense. She said, the reason why we were talking about whether or not we should tell them that he got us drunk is because that's what really happened. That doesn't make any sense. The cops found audio voice memos of y'all debating whether or not y'all should tell the cops if he gave y'all alcohol. And you're saying the reason why we were debating telling them was because that's what actually happened. The reason why you were debating on telling them the truth is because it's the truth? Make it make sense.
The real world is out there. Don't be fooled by all the money and the nice cars and all the women. Working on yourself and becoming a better man and better mindset, yeah, but real men don't lay their hands on women.
I want to see a man come out and talk about him getting beat. I want to see a man come out and talk about abuse. Actually, I think that did happen with Johnny Depp. All right, I have to switch the batteries. I want to see a man come out and say some shit like this. Actually, now that I think about it, I've seen this shit happen before. It's crazy how a girl can make an accusation of abuse, right? No evidence, no proof, no nothing. They blurred out all the screenshots that are on her phone that could just be regular fucking emails. Like, there's literally no proof here whatsoever. Like the fucking Salem witch trials. Like, just say she's a witch. She's a witch. There's no, we don't need no trial. You said she's a witch? All right, burn that bitch. That's what it feels like. It's crazy how a girl can make an accusation, no proof, no nothing. But you can see guys actually be in abusive relationships. Actual ones. And just no one says nothing. There's no Instagram campaign. There's no comments. There's no writing. There's no news outlets. There's no nothing. There's this guy on Instagram, on social media, that was going viral for a minute because he was dating this big girl who was super abusive. Like, he'd be chilling, trying to act like he don't care. Like, he talking to live, and his girls be like smacking the shit out of him, like hitting him. You see his eyes watering. He's just trying to like act like it's nothing. I'm like, yo, y'all watching a man in an abusive relationship. And he's literally doing nothing. Like, it's one thing if you're in an abusive relationship and, you know, he says some crazy shit or your girl says some shit, you smack her, and like that's drawing. But shit, at least it makes more sense. This girl is hitting him for no fucking reason. I'm not saying you should hit anybody, but like, it's fucking crazy, bro. You can literally see a guy being abused and nothing happens. But anyways, let's wrap this shit up. Yo, it's been E. It's been your boy E, Hard Buddy Bull, Plan B. Man, this whole clip was just ridiculous. I really hope, from what I hear from the lawyers, they have no real evidence. But they also didn't have a whole lot of evidence for Tory Lanez. And that nigga got convicted, even though he had no motive, no real evidence, no real way. There's nothing that really proved he was the aggressor. The things they said he didn't even add up. Like, fucking Megan Thee Stallion and her friend Kelsey get into an argument over fucking the same guys, and because of that, Tory Lanez decides he wants to shoot Megan Thee Stallion. Like, you and your friend just got into an argument in the car, and she's mad at you, and y'all was fighting and shit. Who's gonna shoot you? Like, who has more reason to? I hope to God that there are people out there that have common sense that can see through this bullshit. Because it don't take a whole lot of... You don't have to be a lawyer to see this. It makes no fucking sense. Yeah. Pray for the top G, man. Pray for Tory Lanez. Freedom niggas. They both ain't do shit. They both innocent. Motherfuckers try to lie on men just like how they try to lie on me and other men that I know. It's a crazy world we live in. Hard Body Boy Podcast. We out.